Our speaker this morning is Terry Shao. Terry is a 4-year boarding student from Shanghai, China. He is a captain of the varsity boys golf team, a member of the varsity boys basketball team, co-chair of SAMH, and an international student ambassador. He's the proud roommate of Sam Wells and a proud member of Mr. Canosa's advisory. Terry?
One of the first things I noticed about Hill was that when you meet someone for the first time here, greetings are almost always followed immediately by, "So what sports do you play?" My response, always punctuated with pride, is golf and basketball. The mention of golf often goes unquestioned, but basketball inevitably raises eyebrows. I was often met with remarks like, "Oh, I didn't know you played basketball," or the more patronizing, "Really, you just play basketball for fun though, right?" With golf being commonly associated with unathletic, retired guys smoking cigars and popping beers, and basketball igniting the imagery of electric slam dunks and broken ankles, these two sports were polar opposites. As I think about this juxtaposition and how different the two sports are, I can get why people react as such when I reply golf and basketball. Despite this, both sports have brought me unforgettable memories and have shaped me to become the person I am today. My first memory with Hill Athletics was with spring golf my freshman year. Being a remote student in the fall and winter of the COVID year, most people on the golf team first knew me by my Instagram golf account, Shao Golf. However, expectations of me being the new golf prodigy quickly dampened on the first day of tryouts, when I shanked my tee shot 90 degrees way right, beyond the fairway, beyond the lumberyard, beyond the shack, where the team kept all the clubs. For people who don't play golf, that's bad. Not even Mr. Legore, in his 50 years at Hill, has seen someone hit that terrible of a shot. Despite the support and guidance early on from up-performers on the team, I grew impatient. I was still short of the expectations I had set for myself, and felt that the results I was achieving were far from my potential. For most of my life, and from that point on, all I cared about was just the end result. Because that's the only thing that matters, right? That golf season, I wanted to prove myself every match and focused merely on my scores. Success became euphoric and failure hit like a truck. I finally got my chance with the crooked stick match against Lawrenceville, the last match of the season, where my season best of 38 helped our team crush them. As a third former, I felt like the man. But as Hill continues to nurture my growth, I've learned that I actually missed out on a lot that day. Reflecting upon this core memory later, I realized that my pursuit of results blinded me from what mattered much more. I wish that I could return to that moment and more deeply appreciate the opportunity to compete for something so much greater than myself. I wish to appreciate more our special rivalry with Lawrenceville. I wish to appreciate more the special bonds made with special people. Growing up in Shanghai, Hill was a big adjustment for me. However, playing basketball here was an even bigger adjustment. As one of the taller kids in Shanghai Middle School, I played forward my whole life. Now, I was suddenly one of the smallest kids on the team and would have to completely reconfigure my game and develop new skills if I even wanted a chance at making varsity. I would finally have to learn how to dribble, pass, and finish with my left hand. But I could never forget the first time I walked past the varsity practice in Gillison. What I saw in the gym that day was a symphony of art, family, and commitment to each other. Making that team and being a part of such an incredible atmosphere was all I could think of. But in my sophomore year, I got cut from varsity tryouts, and after a sloppy JV basketball season, I suddenly had the perfect opportunity to give up in my life and be complacent with where I was. Maybe I was just not good enough to play here. Maybe basketball is just something that I should leave in my past and move on from. Maybe it's time to start focusing on the calculus instead. But I felt like I had just scratched the surface, and there was still so much more left for me to learn and have fun with in this game. As hope and hunger consumed me, I realized that I can transform this from an insurmountable wall to a stepping stone, a challenge upon which I could find an opportunity to grow. After a year, I proudly slapped my name on a varsity basketball locker, and I spent most of that season warming the bench. So was it all worth it? When the season ended, I tried to evaluate my success in games and practices to know where I can improve. Well, I started with points per game first, but I quickly hit a roadblock. I've only scored 4 points during my entire time as a varsity basketball player. My first, from going 1 for 2 at the free throw line, and the rest against Mercersburg, when I made a three-pointer after badly missing my first 2 attempts, and chirps from the Mercersburg student section. After making that three-pointer, I had to hit the Make It Rain celebration. Unfortunately, after getting yelled at by Coach Alberg, I don't think we'll ever see me do that again. But did any of these statistics, whether it's how many points you scored or how many minutes you got to play, really matter? No number or statistic can quantify or describe my experiences with Hill Athletics and how much I love these 2 sports. Because what mattered most to me and what has helped me grow the most is what we can't measure. It's lifelong friendships, the feeling of pure joy for another teammate's success, character, meeting people that I would never otherwise come across, and most importantly, building something together, something that is so much more, so much greater than what we are individually. The more I think about it, the more I believe that this applies to my life as well. As someone who has spent so much time focusing and chasing the end result, I've confined myself to success and failure. But when we begin to seek meaning in the things that we do, rather than just a destination, we unlock the endless possibilities to what it means to be human. Because it's what we can't measure, our compassion for other people, application of knowledge to be a positive spark in community, and the meaningful relationships in our life that truly define us. As we head into Lawrenceville weekend, I encourage us all to value that which we can't measure, and remember that there's so much more to accomplish and things to learn about ourselves and the community around us than just the end result. Obviously beat Lawrenceville and win, but focus on the moment and experience first, and recognize how lucky you are to be competing in a sport you love and with the people you love. Complacency takes over when the drive to innovate is lost, taking us backwards instead of forwards. Don't be complacent with your life. Regardless of where we are right now and where we want to go, there is still so much more that is unknown and unexplored for all of us. Replace complacency with courage, appreciate and show gratitude for the bonds that we share with each other, and most importantly, seek meaning in the things that we do, not just the end result. Thank you.